8 delightfully weird destinations in Appalachia. Callie, you came up with this idea. I would love for you to get us started with number 8 because it's a doozy and it's one that I have never, ever heard of.
All right, everybody. This first one, I started us out with a bang or maybe even a tornado because, we are in the Land of Oz. Number 8 is the Land of Oz theme park in Beach Mountain, North Carolina. This place opened in 1970, and actress Debbie Reynolds with Carrie Fisher, she's the one we all know. Princess Leia cut the ribbon on this bitch.
Wait, what the fuck? Was Debbie Reynolds in Wizard of Oz?
I think that they just wanted a movie star. The idea of the theme park is that you are Dorothy when you enter the doors. And so you would experience the tornado that struck her house. You would walk down the yellow brick road, visit with the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion. And then, of course, you battle the Wicked Witch of the West. So it seems like it was pretty dope. I am into it.
It looks dope.
Yeah.
And there's a legit yellow brick road. Have you been, how close is this to where you grew up, Beach Mountain, North Carolina?
So it's actually really close to Appalachian State University, where I went to college. And so...
And Boone, okay.
Yeah. They're only open a few weekends a year now. They have some dates coming up if you want to look them up. But they do like Halloween weekends and things like that. And so there's like a lot of students from App State who go. I have never been, but there's like a cult following for this place.
That feels like it's something that should be in Kansas, but I'm glad it's in beautiful Western North Carolina. I would, if I had gone to App State for undergrad, I would have applied to be the Cowardly Lion. I think I could have really embraced that role.
Yeah.
I'm upset that I never had the opportunity, but this is great. Number 7, the Green Bank Telescope, and also Green Bank, West Virginia, the town that it's in. Green Bank in kind of like a remote part of Pocahontas County, West Virginia, for those of you familiar. Callie, you are a new-ish West Virginia resident. Have you ever heard of a certain man named Senator Robert Carlisle Byrd?
It seems like I never stop seeing that name. I feel like every single thing in West Virginia that like took money to build has his name on it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Big Daddy Byrd, Senator Robert C. Byrd, a reformed man, used to be a member of the KKK, which does not hit. Nope. Fucked up, bad part of his life. He, I think, tried to repent for that and a lot of what he did later in his life, but, it's a stain on his legacy. Anyway, Robert Byrd got a lot of money for the state. Somehow the Green Bank Telescope is named after him. It's the world's largest fully steerable radio telescope. And the interesting part about it, it's a giant, massive fucking telescope.
Yeah.
And the town has a federally mandated lack of technology, meaning you can't bring, I don't even think you can bring a cell phone. There's no Wi-Fi, there's no internet, no nothing, because I guess it would interfere with the telescope. And it's wild. And you have a background in science. Tell us your thoughts. Give us some details here.
Oh, well, one question for you first. Does nobody live there? Do people
There
live
are people that
Green
live
Bay?
there, I believe.
But they're like not allowed to have cell phones? I would really like to know answers on that because they're definitely there for some CIA shit if that's true.
Yeah. Info at Appalachia.com. According to Wikipedia, this says there's 141 people there.
All right.
And it says
that seems real.
It is located within the National Radio Quiet Zone, which means that radio transmissions are heavily restricted by law. And it's enforced, holy shit, by radio policemen who use specialized equipment to detect signals from unauthorized electronics. What? This is a wild shit.
This is like, oh my gosh. Okay. I did not know that there were people in that town. That's great. But I did know a couple of things about this telescope. So it's actually been super involved in a ton of discoveries, and some of the cooler ones are that in 2002 astronomers detected 3 new millisecond pulsars, which are like
sounds sexy.
Yes, they literally spin at stars like around and around and around and around like that fast. Whoa. It's insane. So yeah. And then in 2006, several discoveries were announced, including a large coil-shaped magnetic field, which is very cool, in the Orion Molecular Cloud, which is a super bubble There's a hydrogen gas super bubble that is 23,000 light years away. Very cool. Very cool. Whoa. I can't imagine that. But I'm really interested in aliens. I don't know about you. I believe.
Love them.
Yeah, no, I'm a believer, 100%.
I believe. For those listening above, I do believe we are friends. Spare us when you come to wreak havoc on Earth.
Yes, I'm a Star Trek fan, so Prime Directive, potentially. I don't know. Some people will get that joke.
I'm a coast-to-coast AM listener. I fucking believe.
Amazing. So this telescope is a key facility of the Breakthrough Listen project, which used the telescope to scan for radio signals possibly emitted by extraterrestrial technologies. And in late 2017, the telescope was used to scan Oumuamua for signs of extraterrestrial intelligence. Now, you guys will remember this as the object that was in the outskirts of our solar system going by, that the Harvard astronomer professor actually wrote the book Extraterrestrial about Oumuamua, and it is kind of like disputed as the first real signs of alien life. But this literally a Harvard astronomer, wrote a book about how he thinks that was alien life.
And that book was made into the major motion picture E.T. directed by Steven Spielberg. Should we move on? We got this one is wild one, number 6. We're talking about Gobblers Knob in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Gobblers Knob. That is quite the name.
Gobblers Knob. Not a name of a porn movie that I know of, but could be wrong. Actually, I'm going to say it probably is. And if it's not, if there's not a porn-themed Groundhog Day movie.
No. I actually think that Gobblers Knob would be, and you can cut this or not, I don't know. Gobblers Knob would actually be a Thanksgiving porno.
I'm leaving that in. It would not shock me if that shows up on Thanksgiving on a porn site near you. So, Gobblers Knob. I legitimately have always wanted to go here for Groundhog Day because, and look, we've said this before, we'll say it again, Punxsutawney Phil is the groundhog for Groundhog's Day, and he is from Appalachian, Pennsylvania. God bless his soul, may he live on forever. This is a very special place. It's where Punxsutawney Phil does emerge from his little burrow and greets the world on February 2nd every year to predict whether we're going to see 6 more weeks of winter or not. And, it's a special place, and I'm assuming that people in and around that area really treasure it. I would love to go there. I'd love to see Punxsutawney Phil. I've been trying to get him on this show for an interview for the better part of 3 years now. His PR team is very brutal, so we haven't had a chance to get there, but we're trying.
Yeah, I appreciate your effort on that front. That is that's an important interview that I feel like we should definitely keep after.
What unites America more than that? I mean,
no, nothing. The answer is nothing.
Well, I actually do have an answer, and it's number 5 and is dinosaurs.
Oh my gosh, yes! Backyard Terror Dinosaur Park.
Bluff City, Tennessee, a beautiful place in Johnson County, a beautiful place in Sullivan County, just north of Johnson City. Callie, what's been your experience so far in life with dinosaurs?
Wow, that's a hell of a question. For me...
Yeah, it is.
Dinosaurs really came to prevalence in my life when I was president of the Appalachian Mountaineer Organization of Student Scientists. We called it Moss Club.
Okay.
And so I was the only social scientist in the group, and there was a paleontologist in the group who had done a ton of research on this certain crocodile-like dinosaur, and the purpose of Moss Club was to share interdisciplinary knowledge with each other. So he would give these talks about this crocodile dinosaur all the time and the difference between its toes and another species. So I happen to know a lot about that one crocodile.
It sounds weird, but awesome.
Dinosaur. Yeah. But other than that, the Land Before Time, probably.
Land Before Time fucking hits so hard.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Littlefoot.
It stands up.
Yeah, it has stood the test of time, unlike many other things. There's also a great movie, We're Back, about these big ass fucking dinosaurs in a city. It's wild shit. You should check it out.
That's a Thanksgiving movie, right? They're in the Thanksgiving Day Parade.
I mean, if it's not, it should be.
Yeah, I think it is.
But Backyard Terror Dinosaur Park, don't let the terror deter you because it's actually amazing. It's a self-guided walking path featuring homemade scale replicas of dinosaurs designed based on recent scientific findings, whatever that means. Started in 2007, the owner, Chris Kastner, said, quote, "It was a dream of mine that started out wanting a life-size dinosaur and..."
Who doesn't?
Who literally doesn't? I mean, if you're a kid...
If you could have a dinosaur, what one would you pick?
Fuck, I knew you were going to ask that as soon as you started, and I don't know. Hold on. Let me think. Well, okay, so there's a lot of considerations here. I mean, a brachiosaurus could be kind of fun. A raptor could be very helpful and protective, but it may turn on you, as I've seen in many of movies. Pterodactyl would be pretty dope. T-Rex would be helpful.
Yeah.
Oh. I would say a pterodactyl. I'm going to go alt and say pterodactyl.
I like it. So in my mind, like, pterodactyls are kind of like just ancient bats. And bats are so cute. Like, I don't know if you follow...
I've already fucked up. You're right.
Wildlife. If you follow any of they're so cute. So for me, I think I'm going to pick a better one than you.
Mine was Bush League. Fuck. All right, go ahead. I'm going to modify mine. I've fucked up.
I would personally pick a Triceratops because I could walk my Triceratops as a woman anywhere that I would want, and nobody would ever fuck with me. And that thing is a vegetarian, and so it wouldn't eat me, it wouldn't kill me, and it would protect me. And so I imagine, Sarah was kind of a jerk, but like I imagine not all Triceratops are like that. So that would be mine.
She was like a total bitch. I mean,
she was like an older sister. I mean, I feel like we probably would watch it again and be like, yeah, that's just older sisters.
Yeah, I mean, if I watched it, well, honestly, it did feel very relatable because my sister's name was Sarah, and I was like, ooh, that's you.
rough for her.
No, it was. You know what? I actually am gonna mod my answer. I'm gonna say Brachiosaurus.
It's a pretty good one.
Because yeah, they're just big, gentle giants.
Yeah.
Gentle giants.
They're what they call in the Land Before Time. They're the long necks, right?
Long necks, hell yeah, that's right. Titanic creatures, yes.
Love it.
And so like I kind of feel like I embody that a little bit.
Yeah.
Minus the long neck. What I will say though is I love this place. I've never been. I love it already though, and it's because of like how they describe it on the website. They made a point of saying that they have a picnic area where the local Pizza Plus delivers. And I just love that little nugget of locality there. It was fun. Yeah.
They're like they want to accommodate you. So it's just hospitality.
Hell
I love
yeah.
that.
And supporting local businesses. That's right. And so
since
they've opened, they put together a plethora of themes, including pirates, monsters, dinosaurs, aliens, and you name it, who knows. They also do rentals, which I'm very curious what they actually rent out. And
like a dinosaur wedding? Like they would rent out potentially?
Fuck. Okay. I wish I would have postponed my wedding like 4 years so I could have done this. I don't think Kristen would have agreed, but I really want to have a wedding there.
I actually am thinking of something that might be even better than a wedding there.
Okay, let it rip.
A bar mitzvah. Can you imagine? Number 4. Millennium Manor in Alcoa, Tennessee. Now, Chuck, I had never heard of this place before I did research for this particular list, and I got deep into the history of what Millennium Manor is and like what these people were thinking because, whoa. Okay, so this guy named William Nicholson believed in biblical Armageddon.
Of course he
was convinced that it would happen in his lifetime. He was born in 1877, by the way, and that afterward he would be one of the 144,000 righteous souls who would live on earth after Jesus another 1,000 years.
First of all, where did they get the figure 144,000? I don't recall that in the Bible. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It gets worse and more interesting. It gets better, actually. From 1938 to 1946, Bill and Emma Fair, both in their 60s at this point, let's remember, started to make this house, and it was supposed to be apocalypse proof. It's supposed to be a quote 1,000-year fortress. He told a reporter in 1957, here's another quote. This is one of my favorites. "I believe in preparing to live instead of preparing to die."
Well, first of all, I don't disagree with that. And I think that is a quote to live by, but I do have to say, I smell a grift here.
Okay.
This guy clearly is not a dyed-in-the-wool Bible thumper because he would see the contradiction in his efforts here. Armageddon is synonymous with the end of the world. So what you're telling me is this guy is building an end-of-the-world proof fortress? He's trying to defy Jesus Christ himself? Call him bullshit.
That's a great point.
Call him bullshit. I'm just a fucking gimmick, man.
So, yeah, they spent a lot of money on this gimmick. These two
yeah, they did.
Literal senior citizens, literal AARP members. I mean, I don't know. AARP probably didn't exist back then. But
well, they would be. They qualify.
They carried hundreds of tons of boulders into place, and they mortared it all together with 4,000 bags of cement. 50 years later, okay, so like close to 2,000. They brought in like a castle expert for medieval castles, and he examined this place, and he said that it was overbuilt by 250%, meaning that 2 additional Millennium Manors could be safely stacked on top of it.
Okay.
By the time that they brought this guy in, these 2 fair souls, Bill and Emma, they were dead because they were born in 1877. Or something like that. So they were dead, and they did not get to see the completion of their palace, or it's not really their fortress.
Fortress of Christ. So first of all, they probably died because they were 2 geriatric god groupies who were trying to haul 4,000 bags of cement around. Which, how do you get access to that many bags of cement at that time?
I honestly don't know.
Also, I want to meet this castle expert guy because I bet you he is just such a conceited, condescending asshole, which I love. And I'm not saying that in a bad, it's almost endearing. I bet you he was like, yeah, this castle, they overbuilt it. It could have built it could have built at least 2.5.
Like a smug sommelier.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a sommelier, but for castles.
Yeah. So,
what a bunch of fucking idiots! They could have built 2. Dumbasses.
So, after these 2 dumbasses die, this guy, a firefighter, because nobody wanted this place, literally a firefighter named Dean Fontaine, bought this place. Yeah, great name. He bought it. And he often had to sleep there during the day. I guess that's why he wanted to get it, because like you can't hear anything. And he this is like proven because a tornado passed directly over the building in 2006 while he was sleeping, and he slept through it.
Honestly, that's a strong selling point.
Yes,
really.
Good job, Emma and Bill. So
you survived a tornado, you slept through it. That's great.
Yeah, Dean said a plane could crash through the roof and you wouldn't know.
Okay, first of all, you would, because you'd die. But I do respect Dean Fontaine. Great name, very sexy name.
Yeah.
I would say, like, I admire his commitment to not wanting to be fucking bothered, and so he buys this fortress. It really is a fortress of solitude for Dean.
Yeah.
And so I respect that. And you have shared pictures here, and there is one picture, I'm assuming it's of William and Emma, the people who are building it, and I will share it on our YouTube. It is horrifying, in my opinion, because it looks like it's taken from the bottom of a stair set. It looks like a picture, like it's the last thing you would see before these two locked you in a cellar permanently.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of Jodi Arias vibes for all the true crime people out there.
It is this. I am about to pop the fuck off because this one is the American Museum of the House Cat, and I have 3 of those. So it's in Sylva, North Carolina, and it's not only this museum, my own personal heaven, and it is the private lifelong collection of my future best friend, Dr. Harold Sims, and his wife. They have been advocates for animals forever, like 60 years, and they just love cats, and they decided to make this museum.
Dr. Sims has a cat bolo tie.
He does.
And
it's so cute.
That's a vibe I'm into. First of all, though, I would like to note that when you Google this, at least for me, when I Googled it, the first result I got from Googling Museum of the American House Cat is an article from romanticasheville.com, which I thought was funny, but at the same time, like, I feel like
I would be into that.
Yeah, that would be a romantic trip for you.
Yeah, I would be like, looks like it's a lot of fun. They've got like cat memorabilia. Of course, they're figurines, but they've got like really amazing art too, just like from incredible painters. And so they say that their collection, they aim to give back joy and inspiration to cat lovers and art lovers. And you can't get better than that.
Wonderful.
So actually, I can't get better than that because I had one final thing that makes this place like truly cat heaven. They adopt cats out. Like they have a shelter there for cats and they adopt them out. This guy is just like a dream. So another place that I feel like we're going to definitely have to make a trip to, Chuck, with our spouses, because like I can't imagine going to this place without Danny and Kristen. The Unclaimed Baggage Center in Scottsboro, Alabama. Have you heard of this place?
Fuck yes. Number 2, Unclaimed Baggage Center, Scottsboro, Alabama. I have not. So I think I kind of heard of it. I knew that there was a place where unclaimed baggage from flights went, but I didn't know anything past that.
Yeah, so it's really, really interesting. They have this process. So it's not like you lose your baggage and then like 3 days later it ends up at this place. So there's a very, very long process. It's 3 months long that they go through where they search for the owner. Yeah, and make sure that it's like truly, truly lost for good. And then they auction it off. And this place buys like a lot of it. And so fun fact, it's about 0.03% of all baggage is like this. So it purchases all of this and puts them in the store, and they have an online store. You should definitely check it out. But they like don't know what's going to be in the bags when they get them. It's like storage unit wars, and so like you bid on something and you get what you get.
Oh shit, I did not know that. That's what. How has this not been a TV show?
It's crazy. It's the coolest. And so they have found things. They've like opened up these unclaimed bags and found things like Egyptian burial masks, live rattlesnakes, shrunken heads. Wait, this gets even better. Unicycles, and my favorite, a Stradivarius violin was found.
Those are nice.
Those are like sometimes millions of dollars.
Who the fuck doesn't come back for their bag that has an Egyptian burial mask in it?
There have to be a lot of these travel oddities because people go and they get their souvenirs, but like what kind of person can just be like, oh yeah, the $100,000 Egyptian burial mask. I don't really need it.
I want to go here so fucking bad. Yeah. I think that we need to make a Appalachia group trip there, and we need to participate in an auction, and then we will live stream it for our fans.
Yes.
I'm into it. And I hope it's something cool. I hope it's like a rattlesnake. That would be so fucking cool if we got a live rattlesnake.
It would be such a bummer if it was just like Hawaiian t-shirts and denim shorts.
I mean, I'd wear it. I'd wear it for the fans, but yes.
I would too. I would too. It would be ridiculous, but we would have to. Are you ready for number 1? This one was a state secret.
Jim Justice is...
We can't say that.
No, we cannot.
Number 1, Congressional Fallout Shelter at the Greenbrier Resort in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. until 1992. This place went by a number of code names in the federal government: Project X, Project Casper, and lastly, Project Greek Island. And
that
it
one.
was, yeah, it's very interesting. So it was a state secret to the regular American public. So it was constructed and able to protect all of Congress, all 535 of them. They were supposed to be able to go to this place in the case of a nuclear event. And the shelter's actually like right underneath the resort. So it's like the big building that you see, it's like directly underneath of it.
It's only been made public since 1992?
Yeah.
That's wild. I didn't realize that. That's so interesting.
Recently. Yeah. So
damn.
This thing has a whole lot going on. So during its era of usage, it provided these like amazing amenities for all of the people who were potentially going to go there because everything got destroyed. So has 4 entrances, a 25-ton blast door that only moves with like 50 pounds of pressure, which is crazy. I can't even imagine the physics behind that. It has decontamination chambers, 18 dormitories, a power plant inside of it with purification equipment, 3 25,000-gallon water tanks, communications offices, and television production areas. So like if the president was there and had to like deliver an address to the nation, it has a clinic with hospital beds and medical care and an operating room, laboratories, pharmacies, intensive care units, a cafeteria, and finally meeting rooms for the House and Senate. But Chuck, you know what it doesn't have? Room for any spouses or family.
Son of a bitch. I bet you a lot of members of Congress like that, though, because there's a lot of cheating sons of bitches in there.
Yeah, so it was only meant for a member of Congress and 1 member of their staff. And so they were supposed to like peace out to this bunker that would prevent them from being annihilated in the inevitable nuclear holocaust. And they were supposed to be like, okay, bye family, you go find shelter elsewhere.
I'm out. If I'm a member of Congress, at least for me personally, first of all, I would never be one because it sounds like the worst fucking job on the face of the planet.
Yeah, it would be.
But I'm out because like Kristen, if she ain't coming with me, then I'm not going. I'd rather die.
Yeah.
I just would rather die. But I think a lot of members of Congress probably would because they're sociopaths. Many of them are. Not all of them, but many of them are. And so this is wild to me. That I'm very proud that this is built in West Virginia. I do believe I heard lore at one point that it was built in West Virginia because it was sort of unassuming, like a place that you wouldn't really expect, which is kind of cool.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I mean, it is an interesting part of history. I regrettably have not ever been to the Greenbrier or the bunker, and I've really, really wanted to go. I know it's owned by Jim Justice. It is interesting that they built an entire facility. This is also like, this goes into the whole continuity of government. I'm sure there's people out there that watch the Designated Survivor, that show.
Yeah, I've seen that one, yeah.
Where they do every time there's a State of the Union and the entire presidential cabinet attends it in the Capitol building. There's always one that stays behind in case there's a massive attack. It's very much a continuity of government thing. It's very interesting. It's pretty shitty for all those members of Congress that they all have to make a decision to leave their families.
Yeah. So please, everybody should go. Start patronizing these places. They are really awesome. We're going to. We've still got a little bit of summer left. We're going to hit a couple of these for sure. I hope that you all enjoyed this list. It was a lot of fun to make.
Yeah, it was a blast. Let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts if we got it right or what we missed, because we're going to be doing more lists, and we got some other crazy shit we're going to put into it. But let us know. Give us your thoughts. Include it in the comment section on YouTube, or send us an email, info@appalachia.com, and let us know.